Is that what we talking about?
No.
What's he talking about?
He was talking about, I don't know what he was talking about. He was talking about me, like, leaving these rappers alone. And I was like, what are you talking about, Rob?
I feel like we are talking about the same thing. You're trying to act like, that's okay. I'll just say shout out to DJ A1.
Oh, my God.
That's all I'll say. I won't say another word. And hey, listen, DJ A1 will be playing from 4 to 5 in the open bar for VIP, which is located in Mosaic. We got a really cool system this year. You're going to get 2 different cups when you get to Frozen Harbor. You're not going to get them the same day, though, because we don't want you to lose it. You know what I mean? And 1 cup will be for one day, 1 cup will be for the other, and I don't want to spoil how you'll know. Like, we set up some cool cups this year. I'm actually really proud of these cups. They're not the best cups in the world, but I'm proud. They're my cups.
Right.
And listen, and I hope that VIP doesn't sell out. No, I'm just kidding. no, I'm saying, because look, the kids would be drinking them for like that. You know, you go to somebody's house and they got the whole pile, and you're like, where'd you get those from? But they're like they're not like McDonald's, but they're like good cups.
Right.
Some like chain restaurant. You're like, where'd you get them? Did you buy them? No, we just took them. But my whole cabin's is going to be fleeced out.
Exactly. We ain't got to worry about it. But what was I getting ready to say?
Not too much on your mind.
I don't know. I'm just,
I know.
No, you don't know.
I do know. No, because I'm trying to stay on with you. And when you lose it, I'm like, oh, where was I at? Right. And I start looking down. I'm like, is it my turn?
Yeah. But we were talking about the venues.
We were talking, and the other promoters. Moving stuff around. We were talking about Frankie and moving stuff around and Rob. So listen, it's always been like that. I'll tell you this. There's been a reggae act in Tin Roof almost every year since Tin Roof started. It was one of Rob and my most important stages to make sure that people felt comfortable there, because the Blizzard year, people made that home.
Right.
And we wanted to make sure the core people that knew us knew that that was a place that they would probably enjoy music per se.
Right.
And I'm not saying that I shook it up this year for any other reason, but I brought in Fernando Delgado with Electric Eye. He's the one that does High Tops Backstage Bash up in Timonium. In the fall usually. It's like the end of summer, early fall kind of thing. I believe it's still the end of summer. I think that's how he does it, the end of summer party. And I brought him in, and he's going to do the reggae room this year over at Lucky's Tavern on Saturday. So Adelaide State, right? But this year we have an amazingly eclectic room on Friday where we have put promoter Nick Ellison from Rapola Entertainment and Kevin Hawk, who's not a part of this year again, but he's a dear friend of mine, helped me out getting through that room. And of course, that's Transcendent events.
Right.
And then you had Fernando and Electric Eye, and then you had me. So you had 4 promoters working on one room, and the room's only really presented by me and Fernando. I mean, Rachel's presenting everything with me. Rachel is like, I don't know if you noticed that. This is another Frozen Harbor first. It's always said One Coast Presents.
Right.
And this year it says Feed the Scene and One Coast Presents.
Right, I noticed
and
that too.
I want to be clear, because some people did ask me, they're like, why'd you put her name first? And I was like, because it's in alphabetical order. It's just a quirk of mine. It means nothing.
Right.
Listen, if you really look on here, there's a lot of points where the names break. And that's because some acts, had better representation arguing for where they should be in the slot. For example, Real Big Fish, they didn't have to make an argument. You know what I mean? They're one of my biggest headliners on the festival, if not my biggest headliner on the festival. Actually, they're my biggest headliner on the festival.
Right.
So they didn't have to tell me. I knew their name needed to be where it needed to be. It needed to be their logo, not just some print words.
Right.
But a lot of times when you get festivals of this size, they have to go to print words.
Right.
But if you notice this year, so in the past, for example, Billy benefited because his name starts with a B.
Right.
You know what I mean? On him performing, because he's performing in his own room. Him and Jay Money are going to do a set with Ill Up.
Right.
So that's going to happen. But then there's like a band like ZFL that's killed it for me every year in Frankie's rooms, and this year he's coming and he's playing. They're coming and playing for Brian Smith from Baltimore Sound Management. Again, all these new names I'm throwing at you. Baltimore Sound Management is Brian Smith. Electric Eye is Fernando Delgado. You know what I mean? Laura, she's coming back from Local Echo. Frankie's coming back from FJE. Billy's coming back from Wisdom Court. Of course, we got 1710 Drum sponsoring us again. We got PRS. I don't know. I haven't taken a photo of the new guitar for this year, but we call it the sticker bomb. Like, basically, Coasty's the next thing that changes. So,
really? You're going to change
Coasty's going to grow up.
Oh.
Coasty's going to grow up. Coasty's not going to change. He's going to grow up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's not going to necessarily be... Imagine like when Family Guy first came out or The Simpsons first came out. the graphics got better in time. Coastie's gonna just get a makeover. He's growing up. It's time for him to become a different bear.
Right.
So, and it's funny because like, you know, we literally talk about Coastie like he's a real person. Because he is. Or she is. Or, you know what I mean? That's the other thing.
You never know.
Coastie doesn't have an identified gender. All we know is that Coastie does drink Flying Dog beer. And Coastie almost smoked Calta weed last year. That's all we know. You know what I mean? But Coastie's a pretty PG-13, keep it civilized bear.
And Coastie likes to rock on stage.
Coastie has rapped on stage. He has played guitar on stage at the pre-party we had back in January. And Coastie also played the Slops Bongos at the first Redman show, if you remember correctly.
I was there.
And people were like, he's got a Baltimore hip-hop shirt. It's Frank. And I was standing in the crowd next to him, and I was like, I'm right here. And they were like, oh, who's in that? I was like, I don't know.
Because it was always like, just like when you would think that you were in there and you were in the suit, and then you'd be over there on I was like,
and listen, and the best part was when they started trying to fight me and Rob on it. And last year at the brunch for the first time ever, there's a photo of me, Rob, and Coastie together. Me and Rob had no photos of us with Coastie, except for brunch last year, which was his last day. You know what I mean? And you know, now who's Coastie? And the best part is like at the pre-party, I was standing in the crowd watching the acts play. And somebody was like, the bear came in, and they were like, dude, I swear to God that had to be you. Like, and I knew it was you. Like, I knew now that Rob was gone, I was going to catch you in the bear suit. And I was like, nah, bro. Like,
I'm right here.
Take it up with management.
So, I mean, like, this year, you've added more promoters.
No. New promoters.
New ones.
Meaning, oh, yeah. Also, you know what? I keep forgetting Chad Bozzarelli with Badass. He's doing Bad Boy Bill with me on Saturday at the Flurry stage inside Mosaic. So Mosaic's Flurry stage is actually indoors. A lot of people are confused by it. It's so weird. I've been hearing complaints about the Flurry stage this year. It's been called the Flurry stage since we first named it. You know what I mean? like it's because I went to a new format. If you notice, I also don't have it like Angels Rock Bar Flurry stage, or excuse me, Angels Rock Bar Snow stage. You know what I mean? Or Mosaic Flurry stage. It just says now Flurry stage 3-4 Marketplace.
Right.
And because the festival's in the same spot, I didn't move my location.
Right.
We always have site maps the day of. We always do.
Right.
The funniest thing is people complain they want to know where the site maps are, and I always end up throwing away at least 1,000 of each day because people don't take them. And here's the fun part. I only print maybe 1,500 each day. Like, listen, we have a festival that we bring an accumulated 5,000 to 6,000 people to Power Plant in some capacity. Unique tickets is the way we call it. So if you buy a ticket for Power Plant from one band, that's a unique ticket.
Right.
If you buy a ticket at the door, that's a unique ticket.
Right.
If you upgrade, that's not considered a unique ticket. Do you have the upgrades on site? So if you buy a ticket online, it's a unique ticket. You buy a Rams set, it's a unique ticket. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rams set can hold 1,450 people. 2 days of that, we're already at, you know what I mean? What's that? 23? We're almost at 3,000.
Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, we're almost at 3,000. So that's just one room.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, and you know, right now I can tell you that my promoters they're doing the best they can. I've never been prouder of these guys. We're actually finding adversity is the theme for us this year. Like everything that could possibly go wrong. That it's not Freud. Who is it that says that? Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law. Murphy, yo. We gonna have words about some stuff. You know about Murphy.
Yeah, I do.
Murphy lived next door to you, I think. Like when you move, Murphy already got a house at the place you going to.
Right. That's why I said I'm hoping this next house, Murphy needs to stay at the old house.
Right. Well, look, Rachel Taft has me knocking on wood all the time. Anytime I start talking about something, because that's our plant, we talk about disasters, and we have plans for disasters. And our disasters are very small, minimal compared to other festivals. We don't have to build stages. We don't have to run electricity from generators. You know what I mean? We've found a perfect place to put 9 different stages and it all be enclosed. I mean, even the outside ice flow stage this year. And by the way, we named it Ice Flow because you remember in Rudolph when he's running from the Abominable Snowman and they hit it with the pickaxe and then they push off? That's an ice flow.
Oh, yeah.
Another morbid way of putting it is you know that elders in Eskimos, they'll put them on and push them out to sea. Yeah, that's all you've heard that your whole life and thought it was all, but that's called an ice flow.
Okay.
That piece of ice, it's an ice flow. And it's spelled FLOE. And you know, me being a rapper, I'm like, this is kind of cool. I was like, this is the ice flow stage. And then it works out this year because, so I got to booking too fast. and I made some mistakes. I booked a lot of tours this year. So as they were routing through Baltimore, I picked them up and put them on Frozen Harbor. Real Big Fish is actually on tour. But I was the first date.
Nobody's perfect, nobody's perfect,
That's his ringtone?
No, that's my ringtone.
Hello? I'm outside.
Okay, well, come on. Okay, somebody's coming to
They're
it.
doing a lot.
Okay. Can somebody take my son, please?
I'm saying he sounds pleasant.
He may. You can have a seat. Sit right there. You don't remember Jared?
Yeah, I do. How you doing, man? You all right? You gonna be okay? It seems like you had a rough evening.
He has.
I'm glad you're okay, man.
You sit down next to Jess.
Yeah, she doesn't bite.
I was gonna
Actually,
say-
you know what? I can give Jess something to do. Jess can take care of me real quick. Like, you know what I mean? Just come here real quick. All your ingredients are in the bag, babe. Get that together for me. Yeah, we're good to go on that.
But
All your ingredients, everything, literally. They gave me like a real nice bag. Be careful with my stickers in there though, because they're the cookie stickers. So cookies is exclusively through Culta now.
okay.
And this was their second launch. Their first launch. So okay, so you know where Culta is?
I haven't been
You know where the
there.
Science Center is?
Yeah.
You know the white building across from the Science Center on Key Highway? It's like a whole bunch of like buildings,
I think
like,
so,
like a strip mall front.
Yeah.
And it's directly next to the Fed Hill, the actual hill itself. They had a line coming out of their door that went all the way down to the Rusty Scupper. I'm serious.
Wow.
There's footage of it. They put drones up in the air to shoot this when Cookies first came here. That's how big Cookies is in Cali. So they are exclusively the only ones on the East Coast doing this right now.
Wow.
Yeah, just like when they got Willie's Reserve. You know what I mean? So like Culta is cutting edge, and it keeps me from going over the deep end.
You're at.
It's helped me quit drinking. It's helped me get through this concussion. Like, you know, I'm telling you, Advil's not enough with that stress headache because I don't get migraines. So now I have a whole new understanding of when somebody's giving me I got a migraine, and I got like they're on Facebook like I have a migraine that's so bad, and I'm thinking like, why are you on Facebook? Because I know being on my phone makes it worse. So like, you know what I mean? But I know this now. Before I was like, oh, they're just having a bad day. Do you take some Tylenol? That's not it. No, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, but some more changes. This year we only have, I told you about the big record number. So I wanted to get things to be a little more cost effective. And I've been able to get the 2-day all venue pass down from, I believe it was 130 last year or 135 last year.
Something like
I
that.
feel it was 125 and 135 day of. Well, I got that down to 75 and 85 for the whole
Oh my goodness.
for every venue. Ramstead Live included.
Yeah, that's people need to jump on that
Yeah.
because that's for every single. That's
So listen,
all
on
9
Friday,
stages.
if you want to come to all the venues and not come Saturday, it's $40. If you want to come Saturday and you want to come to all the venues, it's $40. If you want to buy for the weekend, it's $75. But the thing is, if you decide I don't want to see either headliner in Ramstead Live, which isn't going to happen, but if you decide that, you can buy a $20 ticket for Friday and get 8 stages for $20. And if you come on Saturday and buy another $20, you'll get 8 more stages. So for $40, you can have 16 of my 18 stages. See what I'm saying?
You can
Like, yeah, listen, and the thing is,
one show at. I remember somebody one of the shows, the tickets were like whoever like the opening acts was like, it's only $35. I'm like,
listen, these shows could individually, the way that we put these together this year, these shows could individually at least carry a door of $12.
exactly.
Each of them. They could. There's no way around it. I know these promoters. I know what they do for a living. Yeah, sure, we can call it like, well, I only do $5 for these kind of shows. Okay, cool. Still, 5 times 8 is 40 by itself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you already saving $20 just buying my ticket.
Exactly.
And we don't have a choice. You don't have a choice to just go buy venue to venue.
And a lot of people don't understand that. Like what I found last year, because I always do the hip hop stage. That's where
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
home
mean,
at.
that's where you're home at. Yeah.
But the next
One of these days, I'm going to put you up in the country room.
I'll be fine.
Hey, no, we're going to get you on the bull.
Oh no.
We're going to get you on the bull, Lisa.
No.
We're going to get you on the bull. What's going on? Oh, the smell?
She was just-
Oh.
she
No.
was
Listen, hey, I always come with the good. Listen, hey. The good.
Yeah, the good.
From Culta. It's real. That's
So Rachel had asked me, well, where do you want to be on Saturday? And I was looking at the list And I was like, wait. I said, well, let me look at the list. And I was like, I don't know.
Oh, Rachel
any of-
Spence. And you was
Yeah.
talking about where you want to go.
And I was like, I don't know any. And I seen Quentin Randall. I said, I want to go. I know him. I want to go there. And
Are you
that was
talking
at
about last
Baltimore,
year?
yeah, Baltimore
Oh, okay.
Soundstage.
Right. For
And that was-
Shamika Copeland.
Yes.
She's so amazing.
That
Listen, you know what I did wrong with that? I didn't see that event. I didn't know. I thought that seating the event would cause my people, like our regulars at Frozen Harbor, to come in and kind of push the stuff around and make circles with the chairs. You know, where you want to sit with
Right.
your group of friends and stuff. And we didn't want that. And I didn't do that. But then I found out, like, literally the week before the show. Actually, you know what? Not even literally the week before the show. The day of the show. That it was supposed to, that a seated event would have probably sold out for her. That's how well revered and renowned she's so amazing, and she's one of my
Yes.
favorite bookings ever for in terms of just being a fan of the music.
Well, me and Brian Hoyt were there, and Kelly Bell Band blew me away. Every artist that
Shout
was
out to Kelly Bell.
every artist that hit that stage, I had goosebumps. I was on IG recording
Oh, listen, you know what?
snippets and
I know why you
taking
like that
pictures.
room though. That was like our bluesy soul
Right.
kind of. So like, it's not too far straight from your brand. That's why I said we'll put you in the country room, put you in the bull.
You
We'll give you
forget, I
we'll give you
grew
some
up in-
shots of Jack Daniels.
I grew up on bluegrass and
I know,
country
right?
music.
That's what I'm saying. So we're gonna get you up in the country room, put you on the bull.
I'm not getting
Hold up,
on
here's
the
the deal.
bull.
We'll put you on the bull with your camera. And I'll tell the man that he can't throw you too hard because we don't want to break the camera. But you have to get your shots while riding the bull for the whole headliner set.
It'd be so blurry.
Hey, listen. I don't not cater to the complaints you have when you ask me, oh, why don't you do this? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't ask you to do
But anyway, so listen, so this year, so we have 121 acts this year. Okay.
Okay.
That is also a low for the past 4 years. Remember,
because
remember,
you got
there was a
160
so last year.
acts?
Well, no, last year was plus 160. The year before was plus 150, plus 140. Maybe last year was plus 140, and then it was plus 150 the year before. The thing that got the numbers up, and you can really see this: closing Mex, closing Soundstage. That dropped the number significantly.
Right.
Because you got to remember, we do things that we don't normally do. I don't need that right now. No, thank you. I appreciate you. This isn't that kind of radio show.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, we're going to have to take a break for that thing. I just really needed to make sure it was available. It's that Gary Payton. That's what it's called. The glove. Yep. Oh, listen, I can smell it now. Now I
Yep, you
now-
smell
now-
it,
now
you
this
smell
is
it.
good.
You smell it. You smell it.
Yeah, so. But no, I mean, look, and anyway, like I said, I made these changes to make the festival better. I decided that we needed quality over quantity, and that's not to say that the bands that I was booking before had no quality. It was to say that the fans are, I mean, I am getting so many messages about people who are overwhelmed because I've never worked with Badass before. I've never worked with Baltimore Sound Management before. Me and Brian Smith have known each other over 10 years. When I was on my run in Bourbon Street, Brian, through the band shows on the other side a lot of the time. So he's like, he'd be in the quarter, we'd be in the quarter, he'd be in the ballroom.
Right.
You know what I mean? At the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or he would do the quarter one night, I'd do the quarter the other night. You know what I mean? And that's how it was. Like Brian and me have been around together for a long time.
But you never worked
Never
together.
worked together. And like I said, but there's FJE, always been with me. You know, Frankie and Jen have always been with me. Fernando has 4 rooms. Like I've never had it. So last year, Rachel Taft was the first promoter to ever have more than 1 room. So Billy could get a room, Frank could get a room. Rachel Taft was the first person to ever have more than that. So Brian Smith came right in. I was like, I want 2 rooms. And I'm like, you know what? I've done that before. Rachel's my co-promoter on everything. We'll
Right.
see how this goes. Well, next thing I know, Fernando needs more space. And I'm like, what do you mean? And it's because he's got a room of like indie rock that we were talking about with Tin Roof that we all did as the 4 promoters.
Right.
It's indie rock, it's jam bands. It's going to be a really good, eclectic night, but really like on the same vibe. Like I'm really proud of that lineup. Like I cannot express how proud I am of that particular night. It was the hardest room to finish. Believe it or not, it was actually the last room we finished. It was a very, very hard time because we were just hitting these walls when it came to getting headliners. And we got an amazing headliner that just sold out at Pearl Street Warehouse down in DC back in early January called Tweed. They're the headliner of that night. But the concept that we're trying to get is we want more inclusion.
Right.
You know, we have worked with we've had Steve's promo on Frozen Harbor. We've had 24/7 entertainment on Frozen Harbor. We've had All Good Presents on Frozen Harbor. We've never had these other promoters that I'm
Right.
talking about, and they're accounting for almost half of Frozen Harbor. You know what I mean? Fernando's got 4 rooms. Brian's got 2 rooms. Okay. And then Badass has 1 room. So that's 7.
Billy.
No, I'm saying, but Billy's been here before. You know what I'm saying? So it's 7 rooms. That's almost an entire day.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now, they are spread out throughout the weekend. Like, Brian has 1 on Friday up in Angels, and then Brian's got 1
On
in
Saturday.
Tin Roof and Saturday. Yeah, the Blizzard stage. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's got, that's where Charm City Devils are playing on Saturday.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, is like grabbing guys like the Charm City Devils. Like, I've always wanted to book the Charm City Devils. And when Rob was here, it wasn't something that made sense to what we were putting together, because a lot of times in the beginning, Rob and I booked all the rooms.
Right.
We started adding promoters. We realized we were being so inclusive with the bands that we weren't being inclusive with the promoters. So we started out just 1 or 2 promoters here and there to kind of get a feel. You know, so like Kevin Hawk not working with us, that is not because of anything to do with me and Kevin Hawk's relationship.
Right.
No different than Rob Bryant not being here. You know what I mean? Like, we're all here because we want to be here. And
Right.
those people are all very, very reachable, even though they're not here.
Right.
It's not like they're not here because they don't want to be here. They're just not here.
Right.
That's it. There's no other but. There's no secret.
Right.
There's no mystery.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm really proud of this. I'd say, like, right now, there's bands like Blank Point Method. Last year, in a very... Do you know who Fresh is? Fresh Competition? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Fresh is the front man for Blank Point Method. He created this amazingly eclectic band. They played the pre-party. So that's the thing, is last year, someone told me Fresh was taking some time off from the band, someone close to me that I know. And I was like, okay, so I didn't book Fresh. And then the day of, he was like, hey, Ed, you know, I was surprised you guys didn't call me. And I'm like, I heard you weren't doing shows. So I felt terrible. Like, here's a band that I'm really behind.
Right.
Forget if me and Fresh are friends or not.
Right.
I felt bad that I left this band that I personally, because when he started Blank Point Method, I was already at One Coast. You know what I mean? So I was very, very happy to be able to put him on the pre-party this year, and I have him on Saturday at the Polar Stage up in PBR. So what we did with the Shamika room last year, we were trying to duplicate that in a smaller way and mix it in like what we did with it's okay. So Joey Harcum did the PBR Polar room last year. Shamika did Soundstage, Iceberg Stage.
Right.
We try to combine those 2 stages and create like a localized version of that, like bluesy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Vibe. We got Sweet Lita. We got Lowercase Blues. We got Blank Point Method. We got Dirk and the Truth. We got Meager Kings, they're a trio that are coming. And I believe we got Soul Island Rebels, and they're going to open the show. It's such a good feel for that room. But it's hard to tell because with all the other rooms having a name, like Sweet Lita's out of Annapolis, like, and Lowercase Blues is out of Delaware. Everybody else is localized as well. But like these other headliners, you know, for example, Waterloo Revival. Waterloo Revival on Friday night in the Polar Stage, that's a big country act for us. You know what I mean? Somebody that we've never booked before.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we have no idea. We're dealing with their agency, you know, whereas with Sweet Lita, I'm dealing with them directly. You know what I mean? Lowercase Blues, I'm dealing with them directly. Not to say that I don't have to talk to their team if I have to, but I'm so close to them, I don't really have to.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's easier to work out a deal. Like, we basically built that room together in a kind of way. We told them what we wanted to do, and they were like, oh, your vibe's on the right, you know, you're going the right direction with it, you know? Dirk and the Truth, I wouldn't say is like bluesy, but I know that Dirk and the Truth has like this, it's like this feel of like, you know, they say like Americana, like you can mix anything in under Americana, like pop. Right. Anything can be pop. Hip hop can be pop. R&B can be pop. If the song is pop, it's pop.
Right.
You know what I mean? People don't like to be called pop, but pop could be anything. Well, I feel like Americana kind of does that, and I feel like it takes from blues. I feel like it takes from bluegrass. I feel like it takes from, you know, country, and not just like, you know, like honky tonk country. I mean, like, even I'll say it, even Taylor Swift country can work in this environment. You know what I mean? And the reason I say that is because people don't think she's pop now. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, she is, but she fancies herself a country artist, and I'm not going to disrespect her.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm a Swiftie. It's a fact. People know I like Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? She's amazing. But no, that's the concept is like I have all these ideas and I have to put them all together. I mean, what Rachel? I was explaining the Ice Flow stage. We never got that with all the tours that I got.
Right.
So, Real Big Fish set up their show with me, and then they were building their tour anyway, so it was on their route. Then they added Big D and the Kids Table and Keep Flying. Problem is, we always like to do special stuff and add special guests. Mm-hmm. So we already booked the entire room with Real Big Fish, and we brought the Pie Tasters back that played a couple years ago at Frozen Harbor, and we brought Kill Lincoln, who I really wanted to have at Frozen Harbor this year. So they were on my wish list. You know, Real Big Fish was on Rachel's, Kill Lincoln was on mine. So like, as far as like, I didn't care where I was gonna put Kill Lincoln and headline up in Angels or something.
Right.
But then we put the ska show together, and then we put the 6 openers on it, and then we announced it, and then it was like, oh, what are you gonna do about these things? And we we're like, oh no. So I was like, how about this? So that's when we opened. You know, that's kind of the thing of the Ice Flow being open. Big D and the kids table is going to play on the outside power plant stage, which, by the way, remember, even though I'm saying it's outside, Frozen Harbor has historically been 50-degree days and dry. Meaning, like, it does rain sometimes, it does snow sometimes, and even the one year it snowed, the streets were wet by the time the party started. And they weren't icy, they weren't slushy, they were just wet. Snow doesn't mean that it lays in Baltimore. The streets are too wet.
Well, when that one year I was on my way there, my Uber driver was sliding all everywhere. But by the time it was like 11 o'clock, it was all going. I was like,
that's the year I'm talking. No,
mad.
that was 2 years ago. That was the night
Yeah.
of Jimmy's Chicken Shack and Ramshead Live and Keller Williams and Soundstage.
I was
100%.
so mad because I was on my way and he was just sliding and sliding. I was
Yeah.
like, I was not feeling it.
Oh, I hear you. 100%.
I was just like, no.
So here's where this is how Ice Flow came up. So what I did was I put Keep Flying and Lucky's Liquors where they will fit. They're going to be on like an eclectic stage with reggae rock bands and you know, I'm trying to think of who else is on that. I think Fernando mixed that one with jam bands and reggae rock bands is what he did there. I think that's what he did with that and Lucky's Tavern, so you could bounce between the shows. So like if one band's on and you like one kind of genre, you could move room to room. So he created that flow. We put Keep Flying on that stage, the ice stage and Lucky's Liquors, 6 to 6:45. Then Big D and the kids table go on from 7 to 8 on the outside power plant stage. Then Kill Lincoln goes on in Ramshead at 8 to 8:45. Then Pod Tasters 9 to 9:45. Then Real Big Fish 10 o'clock till 11:30. So we created a flow.
Right.
So Ice Flow made sense. And again, back to that whole rap thing, like my brain was like, and it's so fun. Like people don't understand how fun this is. It's like playing pretend and getting paid for it. Like I'm creating Frozen Harbor, like Coasty. Like I talk about like me and him hang out. Like you imagine that if you come to my house, there's a good chance that I'm sitting on the couch. And like I hand it to him, and you're like, "Hey Frank, hey Coasty, hey DC, hey Coasty."
Yeah.
That because it is like, I mean, I dream this stuff. Like it would, you know. I don't like to challenge artists, like musician artists, and let them understand that I'm a creator also.
Right.
Not from being a rapper. As a rapper, I feel like I get plenty of respect that I deserve as a creator. You know
Right.
what I mean? Because I never really pushed my career, so if I get any at all, you know. But this right here is a creation. This is something that has been locked inside my mind for a long time. And remember when we first started, me and you, everyone thought this was going to be just not Frozen Harbor, but the thing I did was going to be just a hip hop festival.
Right.
And I was very lucky to have Pirate Rob teach me, you know, the ways of the multi-genre festival. Like if it wasn't for him, like remember, Pirate Rob used to be Pirate Rob's birthday bash.
Right.
And he would have like Barcardi and Billy Live and the guy I'm not going to name and McCracken and Fresh. You're not getting me. Nope. Keep going. Let's keep going.
Right.
Say something. Keep the dialogue going.
But
You're not going to get me.
No,
I see
I'm
where you-
not. I'm not. Because we said we're not going to talk.
Yep.
But, and like I said, a lot of
But
people don't
on
know
his
where.
reggae shows, that was the point. On his reggae shows, he puts
Right.
these rappers. So Rob created this thing where I say it out loud to Billy, like we go band rapper, and that's like. That's what Rob created was band rapper. I never said that phrase before in my life.
Right.
Rob was band solo act. And then for me, because it's band rapper. So then I'm like, man, I can put this band on with this rapper and this other band, and all three of them are technically a different genre, but they're all homeboys. They all share common fans. You know, so
That's how I felt about like the setup of like the rapper, the bands,
Oh no, that's my go-to for. I created band rapper.
And that like how
Rob created band rapper. I can't remember the name, but no, that's the flow.
But how it all flow, how it all flows together. And like I said, like
Now, we do everything,
right?
Because me and Rob got this business gave us the opportunity to go out and live a life that most people could never even buy. Like, for example, I cannot sell my backstage pass at certain shows because it's not even really a pass that I can sell.
Right.
It's just my name on a list because, you know what I mean? So I'm able to take guests with me. You know, Jess gets to go a lot with me, but I take other people and I give them experiences they've never had before. And like, how do you do? I'm like, I do this all the time.
Right.
Like I go to shows, like I love going to shows. And you know what? Since I sobered up, I really enjoy going to shows again. Like I found out that I had to get past the boredom of being sober. Like I'd be sitting in a show, I'm like, it's boring, but let's go have a drink at the bar. Well, when you're quitting drinking, you don't have that mentality. You don't have I'm going to go to the bar and have a drink. It's like, well, what do I do now? Well, so then I had to start watching bands again. And I don't mean that I wasn't watching them, but I mean I had to start doing something different. So now I'm really watching them. You know what I mean? Or I'm actually networking again and I'm meeting people, young artists. Hey man, like, because I'm walking around, they say, hey, aren't you on Coast? And I'm like, yeah, we're playing Frozen Harbor. I'm like, who are you? And they tell me, I'm like, oh, like, nice to meet you. They're like, because it's some other promoter's band that I haven't met yet.
Right.
I don't get to meet these guys till Frozen Harbor.
I mean,
being the cover for his EP coming up. Mm-hmm. And this dude said, what are y'all doing? Kyle said, we shooting for the cover of my album. The guy said, what do you do? He said, I rap. Guy said, I play guitar. I said, do you write original music? And he didn't see me. He was talking to Kyle. I said, you write original music? Guy looked over at me and said, yeah. I said, you're on Frozen Harbor. I've never heard his music at all. I have no idea. But he's a singer, songwriter, solo guy in Leinenkugels. And the worst case scenario, if he's completely awful, one, it's only 30 minutes of his set. Right? That's all his set is. But two, I can also cut his set if I have to. I've never had to do that. That's the thing is like, me and Rob had this good vibe about people. People who are outgoing like that and want to play a music festival are not going to be awful.
Right.
There are bad ones. There are. But they don't get to us. They don't have. They either lose the confidence when they meet us, or they have that reality check when they meet us. You know what I mean? And he had no idea what their sound was. He was just curious about their name, and I was like, wow. Like I'm like, dude, like, but again, Frozen Harbor's changed because remember, rooms used to be a lot more all over the place. You could have a country singer on the same stage as the rapper. Right. The original Frozen Harbor. Right. Because sometimes we would get down to like 2 stages left and be like, I don't know what else to do. Let's just throw acts in there and see what happens. But that's also because we want to create a flow. Right. If you want to see this other country act, for example, Brody Keane. Brody Keane is a singer, songwriter, solo guy that's going to open up for Waterloo Revival. He's one of me and Tim's guys. He's Tim's guy specifically. And we help him out getting in the country stuff. And last year, Rob told him, or I guess 2 years ago, Rob told him he couldn't play the country room until he got a full band behind him. So he had to keep playing the solo stage at Leinenkugels. Well, last year, Tim brought that to my attention, and I was like, well, Rob's not here no more. Right. Put him upstairs. And he did great. So this year, I put him upstairs, and this time, instead of having him in a different slot, he's actually opening. And he's like, hey, man, like, you know, it's a tough slot. Like, as a tough slot, I'm open. I'm the first act, and I'm solo on Friday. It's not like it's Saturday. Right. You know what I mean? And I said, okay, cool. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you a set 20 minutes after Waterloo Revival's done in Leinenkugels. So when you get on that stage, remind them that they're only seeing half of your set right now. So your fans are going to get double. Brody Keane is the first artist in Frozen Harbor history to have that parentheses ×2 next to his name because he has 2 sets. Now, that's not to say that Joey Harcum hasn't played Pasadena and went and played a Joey Harcum.
Oh, yeah.
That's happened. I'm not saying he's the first to do it. Right. But he's the first person to have a ×2 next to his name. You know what I mean? I'm trying to create a vibe of this is a new thing. We can dream it up together. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong, we'll find out. We're going to find out.
Where I'm at. You know, I don't even know half the local artists anymore because, like I said, I say it all the time. You throw a stone, you're going to hit a rapper. So when I see all these names, now I do know the World Lincolns because they have done.
Well, right, they did Redman, they did Drew Hill, they did George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. Wait a minute, no wait. Did they do that? Yeah. George Clinton. I know, and then they did Method Man and Redman. No, I'm just trying to get the order right.
I seen them at Baltimore Soundstage one year.
Redman.
And I think
that was first Redman.
I think that's when they said that was going to be their last.
Guaranteed to. They're that good. They deserve that. They put the work in. People don't know what they've done. That's not the problem. Worry about yourself. But they deserve guarantees, and they do get guarantees from me. Right. The Grilled Lincolns sell tickets to every Frozen Harbor, like every other band. And you know why? Because they love it. They literally tell me they're selling tickets because they love it. Right. And you got people out here crying and complaining about different things they don't understand, or bands shouldn't have to do this, or whatever. And piddly money. I was going to pay them what they're worth. But they're out there, like right now, they have a guarantee this year because they're headlining that stage. But Slop picked up tickets. They're selling tickets.
Right.
Their online link, people are clicking it on their own and buying tickets.
Well, they have a big following.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm just bringing up the fact that they love Frozen Harbor so much that they're selling tickets. Like, and you know, every rapper's goal is to get away from selling tickets. Every band's goal is too. And here they are, happy to do it. Just happy that I call them up every year.
Right.
And it's not because I call them or Rob call. It's because we created an environment that they love. They're happy. They feel a part of it. I want every one of these bands to feel like this is their event.
I like the first time I heard them perform, I was like, I really like them. Like, you know, because like being in the hip hop scene, you know, I wear it on my face if I'm standing right, because I stand right at the front.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean when the act's on stage? Oh yeah, because you've been notoriously caught. You've been notoriously caught giving the sad face or the
what in the world is going on? I mean, and I tell people all the time, I was like, a lot of times I'm trying to listen to lyrics, but it's kind of hard because, you know, in order to really hear the music, you gotta be in the middle of the room or the back of the room. Mm-hmm. But I'm up front taking pictures. But sometimes, like, I'm just standing there and I'm like, what in the world is going on here? But I've never been disappointed at any Frozen Harbor show that I've been to, regardless of. I know one year I was at Soundstage, but Chenier was performing at Lucky's.
Ooh.
And I ran, you know, it was like, Chenier's performing. So we left from Soundstage and went over to Lucky's. She did her set. I recorded and took pictures. And then I came back over to Baltimore Soundstage, you know, so, and just to see everybody down there having fun, you're going to see every race, color, everybody's just going to be there.
Rich people, poor people, all that. That's what I'm saying. Listen, I know $75 sounds like a lot of money, but $20 for 8 stages is something that anyone could say, all right, I don't get to go to a lot of concerts because I just can't take off my day job.
Right.
This has nothing to do with, you could just be paycheck to paycheck, but you only get to take your vacation days when you do, and you pick Frozen Harbor Weekend because you get to see so many bands all at once. It's like literally, I wish I could go and put, you know, Jay-Z in one room and Rihanna in another, and they're not at the same times and make a perfect festival, but that's not realistic. But I'm giving you sounds of Baltimore.
Right.
And not just sounds of Baltimore, sounds that enhance Baltimore. I've always argued this, and I'll say it every time we have an interview together. I think Baltimore is the second most eclectic city in the country behind New Orleans, period.
Right.
If you have a way to argue with me, but most people I tell, they go, fair enough. Like, it's not even that they could argue it, but there's like, you know, that's actually a really good point, what you're making, you know?
It really is. I think we're just going to take a break and play. We're going to play a couple songs. A couple songs be good for you?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I was just actually going on here looking to see if there was any comments that I needed to address. You know, we've been talking so long that once we got in our rhythm, I actually forgot all about it. Yeah.
But yeah, I know that you were, you know, talking about maybe taking a little break. Mm-hmm. You know, because Jess's gift that she has over there for you. I didn't know if you wanted to take care of that.
I mean, I don't have to.
Oh, no, I'm just saying we're going to take a break.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, I know, but you put me out there. I mean, why don't you snitch on yourself?
I'm eating gummy bears.
I know, I got you. Maybe I will. Oh, what kind of gummy bears you got?
They're not infused. I do
are
have
they
some
trashy gummy bears?
No. Oh, Lord. Trashy treats. You better back it up, little boy. So we're going to play a couple songs and we'll be right back. Power 4.4 in the spotlight. Your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. No. No, I did have some gummy bears. My homegirl had given me a couple of gummy bears and a couple of gummy worms. But
You can do that.
huh? Why?
Lisa, this isn't going live from your Baltimore Paparazzi page. It's only going live on your YouTube.
It's on my YouTube.
That's what I'm saying. It's on your YouTube now. Okay, cool. Listen, when we get back, let's talk about the weather. That's what I pulled up next, the 25-day extended forecast. The weather looks amazing this year. The whole week. Like yesterday, it said Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday were all 60 degrees plus. It just lowered them down to 55. But still, yeah, but I'm saying, we have to listen. But from Sunday to Sunday, it's 50 degrees every day minimum. So I'm here for that.
Huh? Lotion? At home. No, I didn't bring my pocketbook. Oh, Jared.
You will never take a bite out of life. Open a bite you if you try to let it grow, get a rewrite you. The persistence was written. It's inside you. Take everything that is yours and never be prideful. That's mine, delightful. Making me my eyeful. But it can get you out of trouble like you see a strifeful. The sky is a line that's the best life. So you can find yourself looking on the moon like Michael and did football. They comment to comments. They draw pressure. They fall in stars. They not in the action. If you make sure you lose man, if you can live with the stars, you can move plans. Make your own space. You ain't gotta share it all. They don't get to you. You gotta check it by force. The world is yours. Go for it all. Cause you will never fall. Never.
They had sent one person, but then I guess they divided it or whatever.
What?
Yeah,
Never.
He was weird.
it was weird.
I ain't seen normal, but
You will never.
the whole way over here. I said on the passenger side, and I just kept standing. Just kept moving.
Yeah. That's what it's all about. You know what's wild? Nobody does that with alcohol. You don't walk up like, let me get a drink out your cup real quick. You be outside with anybody and hit a blunt with them. Serious. Think about that.
Everybody be trying to get me.
I told her about me trying to get you edibles and you be dead eyeing. Remember that shit you did with me and Kyle? You said you ate a piece of one. And listen, and I was eating them in your face doing I'm saying, come on, Kyle.
This is it's like gelato. It's infused.
Oh shit. I heard that.
My hairstylist. She makes edibles and stuff.
I heard that.
I'll tell you, Next Saturday's supposed to be my last day.
We'll get into that on your news station.
Huh?
I said we'll get into that on your news station.
Well,
You
my
staying
hair,
here?
I don't know.
Oh, no, I thought you said, that's what I thought you were talking about, because you said next Saturday's your last one, because you're going to get Frozen Harbor definitely the Saturday after.
Right.
So I thought you were talking about, yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
No. My hairstylist wants me to do my show at her house. So, yeah. I don't know. Me and Jay had a conversation. We're gonna have another. I think we're gonna have another conversation.
This is Power 4.4 Radio, where real hip hop lives.
And we're back in the spotlight with your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi, along with EC, Frank
I'm back.
Lewis.
I'm back.
One coast.
Yep.
He got a lot of names there.
I do have a lot of names. You know what? And if you really pay attention to the different things I reference and the way I behave and stuff, you know, Diddy was one of my idols. I was at the right age for wanting to get into
Right.
the executive side of the business, as opposed to being just a rapper.
Right.
I wanted to get into the business, so my idols were like Dame Dash and Suge Knight and and Diddy and Jay-Z and let's think who else had labels that I looked up to. I mean, of course, you had to look up to Kevin Lyles and Russell. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
But I'm saying, there was when I was coming, it was this new era, the Irv Gotti's, like these flashy, flamboyant. I'm gonna tell you about yourself, kind of.
Right.
And like it just and like Diddy changing his names all the time. It's just like I didn't do it intentionally on purpose, but like Kyle changes his name all the time, and I tell
Man.
Kyle that's where it comes from. He doesn't realize that's what made it cool to do. Otherwise, people wouldn't like that.
Well, I still call him Oz. Like, I have a hard time.
Right, that's what it's so funny. I want to call him Oz to you too, but he's not here. You know what? We call him Oz. From now on, he's Oz.
I call him, and it's always been hard for me to call somebody, like, I met you as EC. I met Only as Only.
And you didn't just meet us. Like, you knew us for a decent amount of time as those names.
Right.
And, like, we lived life together. We grew up together.
Right.
Yeah,
so when people start calling you Frank, I'm like, Frank, I just couldn't, and I couldn't call only Ryan.
Oh, that's fun. I'm loving
and-
this a little bit.
And I couldn't, and even with calling Oz or Xavier James, calling him
Mr. Mighty,
Kyle,
when he was Mr. Mighty Eye too.
Mr. Mighty
And then
Eye.
he dropped the I right before he became Xavier James. He was just Mr. Mighty. So like, come on, man. Or
Right.
no. It wasn't Mr. Mighty. It was just Mighty Eye. I think he dropped the
Mighty,
Mr.
yeah.
Whatever. Listen, see, we confused already. And that's what
So-
he wants from us.
So, so it's like when I meet somebody, that's why I guess maybe I just, when people, like, they'll say, oh, paparazzi. No, I am the Baltimore paparazzi.
Ah, you do that?
Yes.
That's funny.
Because now, you know where that comes from? When people were calling my phone asking about booking paparazzi. Because they thought I was the owner of paparazzi.
Okay.
And I'd have to tell them, no,
Okay.
I am the Baltimore paparazzi.
Okay, I get it. As opposed to going to paparazzi in Baltimore, you're the Baltimore paparazzi.
And I was the Baltimore paparazzi before that place
no,
was named
no,
paparazzi.
I know that, but I'm saying, but like,
Right.
I don't know that I would make the I don't know that I would see Baltimore paparazzi and be like, hey, I'm trying to book there. I don't know.
But they thought.
No. I'm just talking about me business.
Right,
I would
right.
never go, that's too simple. That's what I'd say. I'm like, that's right there. Her phone number's right there. Come on, guys.
But that's why, it proved to me even more that people don't read, because I actually put in the about.
Well, you don't help when all your photos are of hip hop concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were like, yeah, oh, this is the club venue. This is the club's page.
But if they really looked, it's different. It was
I know,
different.
I know it is, but I'm saying, but like, you didn't make it easy. Like, you're making it like it was like country western photos, and they were like, hey, is this the spot downtown that does the hip hop shows? Like, you know what I mean? No. So,
But yeah.
nice try though.
But yeah, so I had, people, Anchor the Bank always calls me paparazzi, and I'll be like, oh, just call me Lisa if you're just going to call me anything. And then.
Isn't it weird when you want to be called something, you have to convince people to do it? Like, you got to kind of sell them on it?
Yes.
Like, when I switched over to Frank Lewis, I just switched over to Frank Lewis on Facebook and kept talking to people. And just, all right, you ain't going to call me easy no more. I'm just going to talk to you on this. And you're going to have no choice because your brain, it's like, it actually happens to me with, some of the rappers when Facebook cracked down and made everybody change their name. People didn't know who the hell they was talking to.
I didn't either.
Like, no, I mean, I there was some that I still don't know. Like, when I find out, I'm like, no way. I maintained a friendship with this person. And that just shows me, like, I see them all the time. And I had no idea they were the same human. I was just, yeah. Did you hear how we booked, what's Dre Robinson's band called?
Black Salem?
No. The, a band of misfits.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Anyway, so Dre had been hitting me up about booking his band. And I was like, well, you got to talk to Billy. Billy's running that room this year. You got to talk to him. And I was like, he didn't put you in. He's like, no. I was like, man, it's already done now, man. Like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'll have to work on it next year. So I was like, you know what? I think I want to throw Dre a bone and put his band on Frozen Harbor pre-party. You know, I'm going to throw him a couple $. You know what I mean? They ain't got to sell no tickets or nothing because it's a free event. You come to it so I can give away a bunch of tickets. So, like, I was excited to have him on. And Tim comes to me and goes, yeah, man, so I'm thinking about the pre-party booking this band called A Band of Misfits. And I'm like, shut up, Tim. Like, you know what I mean? I'm booking Dre Robinson's band. I didn't know they were the same band. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he goes, I think it's the same band, man. And I'm like, hold on. And I was like, Dre, what's your band called? He's like, A Band of Misfits. I was like, congratulations, you're on the Frozen Harbor pre-party. And then I told Dre the real story.
Right.
Like, when we were finally done talking all the terms, I told him the true story, and he was like, man, that's crazy. I was like, I had no idea. I knew you were good because I saw him rap without his band before, so I knew what I was gonna get. But I actually really didn't know. Like, I was really blown away by him. Like, he should have been on Frozen Harbor this year, and that's not Billy's fault or my fault. But next year he's gonna be on Frozen Harbor. He's really good. I don't know if you've seen A Band of Misfits, like Dre's band, but like yeah, Dre's the front man for that. Actually, there should be some live. You know what? Tim might have did a takeover and did some live because he really was proud of that booking. Like, they were really good. Yeah, it's just three of them. Got a drummer. Got I feel like a guy on keys and MPC, and then Dre. Dre just being Dre, but like not like the rap show Dre. It's hard to explain. He's so talented. I had no idea. Like, I was really blown away.
Well, they have so many different names. Everybody has different.
Exactly.
It's crazy, and you know, Comp is the only artist, not just rapper, but the only artist who will get up on stage and call me by my government.
Oh my God.
Calls me by my first and last name.
Oh, the whole thing.
Yes. I said, why do you do that? I said, he
Okay. I mean, listen, it's an easy name to say.
But it's just like,
Lisa Stant. It's not like, listen, there's no, you know how you see somebody's last name and you're afraid to say it?
oh,
Like,
yeah.
you know what you mean? For example, like, if, like, say Prophet last name,
Oh, no, thank you.
right? I thought it was Kowalski, like on the Penguins of Madagascar.
Right.
So, like, really, like, I used to send him, like, Kowalski memes. Like, you know what I mean? Joking around with him. And he said people say that all the time. But that's not how his name goes. You know what I mean? So,
It's Prophet. His name is Prophet.
I believe it's Kolowski?
Something.
Kolowski? I think I'm saying it right. But I'm pretty sure that's...
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we gotta get back into this. We did you do something while I was on break too?
No.
You lie.
No, it didn't. I cleaned up my...
I don't know, there was a mess over here. That wasn't
No,
there
it's
before,
over
too.
here because my son accidentally knocked over Miranda's coffee.
Oh no.
Yeah, because he was busy trying to take my gummy bears. Could have asked him. I usually share.
You know how you just slipped out of that? You said you could have asked hon and still didn't give me no gummy bears.
I was just looking. Just like, you know, there's something in here.
You picked the bag up and you went. He was like, you could have asked hon, and just dropped the bag. Like, you didn't ask me. You treat me like Ryan does now. Like, only he does it to me. He goes, you still didn't ask me. I was like, oh, okay. And then we'll get in that weird Virgo stalemate. We won't speak.
That's all right. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to deflect. We need another Savannah trip.
Oh, okay. I'm here for that. Well, listen. So let's get back into Frozen Harbor. So we
Okay.
talked about earlier, 50-degree days
Right.
is typical. Three different days leading up to Frozen Harbor. And Frozen Harbor, Friday, the one consistent it has had is it stays at 54 degrees. Everything's been changing. It's a sunny 5 days out. You know the weathermen don't got that figured out. They can't tell us what's going to happen this weekend.
No, they can't.
Right. So what I'm saying is, this is a good omen that we've never seen before.
Right.
And I can handle just about anything except precipitation. Meaning the cold, people will go out in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Look, that outside stage, you're going to come out for get you a coffee or something, put your gloves on, take your gloves off, and go back in the venue. I mean, people still dress warm. People still dress for Frozen Harbor.
Do they have the outside furnaces things? The towers?
Oh, no.
They don't have those?
No. Okay, so
I know they had.
there's fire marshal issues about that. And that's not a diss to anybody. That's just, I know the laws and the codes. Anything I can plug in. Next year, I will intend on Eve, and they put up those tents inside. Remember, okay, so we talked about the ISO stage. It's really about 3/4 of a venue. It's got a wall on this side. It's got a wall on this side. It's got a roof that covers the entire stage and all the possible 3,000 capacity that it would fill. Okay, so if it rains, you won't get wet.
Right.
Well, then it's got the backdrop. It's got that metal fence with the holes in it, and it's got the backdrop with the big LED screen and the live at the top, and that's covered all the way to that. So, like, realistically, the only thing that happens is the wind comes off the harbor and makes you a little bit chilly because it just has it creates a tunnel.
Right.
But other than that, I mean,
Yeah.
and if you look at how power plants shake, warm because you're not going to stay outside after 8 o'clock anyway.
And one thing that's all, like I said, also that's different this year is that you don't have the sound stage, so everybody's going to be contained right here.
Yeah, there's no reason to walk around. Yeah,
there's no reason to walk across the street.
Walk across the street. That's what I mean. Walk around Baltimore.
So
yeah. I felt like, you know what? My goal, my 10-year goal has always been to close off the corner of Market and Lombard and Market and Pratt and reroute the city. We're not going to get into all that, but
right.
Go Pier 6 to Power Plant stage and have every venue in between. There's Hard Rock that would get down. Dick's Last Resort would get down. Everybody would want to get down.
Right.
Nobody would want to miss this. And then you make Marketplace across from Soundstage like Vendor Row. You just vendor that whole thing out. Because what's that, Constellation Energy, that big building?
Right, yeah.
Just vendor that whole thing out. And then you block those streets off and people could flow back and forth. That would probably make it a little bit easier. So my goal was to do that in 10 years. This is year number 7. And now I've actually scaled back.
Right.
And we got the opening that extra stage created, because this year we would have had 8 stages for the first time in like 5 years. You know what I mean? We've always had more than 8.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like it would have been a big deal.
Because my whole spiel is always when I would promote it would be 160 plus acts, 10 different stages, 2-day festival, that's always been, like right. Whenever I
well, remember Tin Roof was the 9th stage, Soundstage. Like I'm going back to the beginning if I don't open this outside stage. You know what I mean? Like not necessarily just to have that number 9, because if you also notice on the flyer art, I took that flex off. I told you I was done competing about how many I could book and how many stages.
Right.
So I didn't keep it off the flyer to like hide it from people. I'm talking about it right now. I took it off because it's not a competition no more.
Right.
It was never a competition.
No.
It was me and Rob being dreamers and saying, how high can we push this?
Right.
Can we break through this ceiling? Let's try to break through that ceiling and the next ceiling and the next ceiling. You know what I mean? And now I'm here and I'm like, you know what? When I'm ready to break the next ceiling, I'll know I'm ready. Right now, maybe I need to get my foundation in order because half my foundation goes.
Is this like the longest running festival that Baltimore?
No, hell no.
What other?
Oh my God, Artscape's been around forever.
Well, yeah.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, there's no way we're even close.
I mean,
think about this: Starscape, the EDM one that was used before Moonrise, that was around 14 years. Right. Yeah. We're not anything special. We're special, but we're not anything special yet. You know what I mean? Like we're not like we're gonna go down into conversation. You know what I mean? But if I keep pushing this a little bit harder, maybe we go down in history. But like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like I feel like for at least a good 20 years, people will be able to use Frozen Harbor as a tool to decide what they can and can't do, or what they might want to do, but people tell them they can't. Right. Like that's the thing. Me and Rob were told this couldn't happen. They told us no. They was like, it's not possible. You guys. This whole thing's set up for a festival right here. Right. You know what I mean? And took away all the going and renting a Pimlico, building 10 stages, having people actually want to come out to such a thing. Right. You know what I mean? Because we would need big headliners for such an event, because it'd be millions of dollars in production fees. We would need to have bigger names. Well, then you add a big name. Big name wants big money because he knows you're going to start
Exactly.
making. If you invest millions, you want to make millions. You know, so I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe how many promoters are out there, and we all talk in our circles, and it's like one of these failing could make us bankrupt. Like, not necessarily like end our career, but it could too.
Right.
It could also do that. And we're just blessed every day we get to have this run. You know, that's why my engagement with fans has been my number one priority. I'm trying to get back in touch with the fans. Talking to them on Facebook, like when there's an issue, like handling an issue instead of being like, hey, Tim, I saw this thing, make sure they get the copy and paste that I gave you, or making sure that I have an intern. Like, for example, I have a friend covering, when I say a friend, it's because they are an intern. They get paid by trade. They come from Frozen Harbor free every year. And they said they wanted to run the Instagram page. So they run the Instagram page, but I find myself on the Instagram page doing things before she can, just because I want to. I want to hear the fan tell me it. I want to see that this person cares.
Right.
Like, I know which bands have been trying on Instagram and which bands have not tried at all.
Well, I know, like, over the years, like for me, even though I'm not quote unquote a part of, you know, this, you know, Frozen Harbor, or I'm not a part of.
How are you not part of Frozen Harbor?
But I'm saying, like, I'm not I'm just not a part of something. I still, because you're my friend and Tim's my friend, and, you know, people that I'm friends with.
Uh-huh.
So when I see these mostly it's the rappers. Oh, well, why ain't I on here? I should be on here. That just kind of irritates me.
Even Method Man and Redman wasn't a rap show. It was a good rap show, but it wasn't designed as a rap show.
Right.
You know what I mean? So. Okay. All right. What are we wrapping up? The whole show? We
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no. I wasn't sure we made that decision or not. My bad. I was like, Frozen Harbor Music Festival, Friday, February 28th. Starting doors are at 6:30. First acts go on at 7 o'clock. On Saturday, come back for day 2. That's Saturday, February 29th. And that is 3:30 doors with the first act going on at 4 o'clock. Make sure you check out our main stage. We have amazing acts. Please, like, wander around. If you're a rapper that wants to get on and you want to know why you're not on, come to it and find out, because you should be walking around talking to all these different musicians and playing different instruments and things. You should be like not them playing them, but having, like, instead of just buying a beat from YouTube, they should be working in the studio with people that can play a real saxophone.
Right.
You know, so
work with people like Nadi who can actually play guitars and stuff like that.
And if you have any questions, I am available 24/7 until Sunday night when brunch and everything's all over and I pass out in my hotel room from exhaustion.
And you can see me. What stage am I at?
You'll be at the Avalanche stage on Friday. Are you coming Saturday as well?
I haven't been told where I'm going yet.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but Friday night you'll be at the Avalanche stage, which is Lucky's Tavern. That's presented by Feed the Scene, One Coast, and Wisdom Core.
I'm the main.
Over this year, like,
right?
You know, when you're exhausted and you want to move on, like, I'm actually still going because I smell brunch and then mimosas, and I gotta figure out if I'm gonna come off the wagon for that day or not.
Right.
Because I've been doing so good, I feel good, but, you know, maybe Sizzle will come back for one day.
Oh my! So thanks for coming through. I'm glad, you know.
Thank you, Lucy.
Of course, always.
Love it here.
And
we stayed on topic. We did good.
Yes.
We did good, and we kept our word on that thread.
Yes. We did good.
Boom.
So next Saturday, I have Judah Priest and 144,000 Chosen Few are coming down from Pennsylvania, from Philly. I actually met one of the guys at BBK's listening party at Reverb. He was just amazing. He was just true hip hop. His name is Lights Out.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. No, they had a song called Lights Out. Yeah. But so I will see everybody next Saturday, which is supposed to be my very last show here at Power 4.4. I may be back. I'm not real sure what I'm gonna do, but so yeah, next week's gonna be an awesome show. Like I said, I got Judah coming through, Wu-Tang affiliate. He used to be with G Unit too. So,
Well, you definitely ended it on a high note. I hear that.
oh yes, always. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I know my YouTube was having kind of some glitches. It was kind of going out or whatever, but it'll all work out. Y'all be safe so you can come back next Saturday. Power 4.4 in the spotlight. Your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi.